And thank you so much, Alicia, for agreeing to do our reading. So we're going to get started. I normally get started with an opening prayer and just sort of tune in. And I love to keep my hands in my heart when I'm doing the opening prayer. And we seek sacred guidance. We open our hearts and minds to a higher influence. We imagine before us a direct, radiant link from our conscious mind to our higher selves, our spirit, and all the divine forces of the universe. May this sacred connection now speak to us through these cards, and may the messages we receive be clear, truthful, and aligned with our highest good. And so it is. All right. So, Alicia, do you want to share with me a question that you would like answered, or would you just like to leave it open-ended for spirit?
I will leave it open-ended to spirit. Like, what should I know now to follow my path?
Okay. Okay. Beautiful. All right. Alexa off. Sorry, technology. I don't know if
Yeah,
you did that.
no, I didn't.
My Alexa decided to tell me what the weather was just a second ago. All
Oh,
right.
there you go.
So I'm gonna so these cards I made with I have a group of beautiful, wonderful ladies that I work with, and we created these symbols together, or we came up with them together. Um, and they're just really basic symbols that when I give a reading, but you can probably take a picture of it, and further on, more things will come to you. Um, hmm. Oops, I saw it right there. All right. So we have our three cards. I'm gonna flip them over. Okay. All right. So what typically happens is I'm going to read each individual card, and when I'm looking at them right now, they don't have any connection, but as we kind of get into it, more things will come through. And oftentimes it's just sort of a beginning point for the reading, because then it starts opening up and more things just come to me personally. Um, okay. Um, the world, um, this this card speaks a lot about sort of your connection with this feeling of like humanity, like that comes through very strongly. Um, Sort of this feeling of humanity, and then with this card is about power differentials and sort of being having an eye for power differentials. Um, but when I see this card, it speaks to like take like one is shifting perspective, because you're sort of, you're sitting like a chair. This is a chair. In case you didn't know, because I'm really bad at drawing. So it's a chair, but also taking a rest, and the sort of the importance of having those moments where you pull away from maybe the world and that sort of the struggle of the power differentials, in order to have sort of a different perspective. That's really important with the different perspective. I'm seeing if more things come in. Um, I'm shown with this one, um, just this sort of open heart. And when I get the open heart image and during a reading in my head, it's about being born with this um don't think of it as bad, but it's sort of this lack of sort of a shield so that you feel everything very strongly. So um and that initially, usually the open heart also signifies sort of the first half of life as a sort of a more of a, I would say, it's struggle over uphill battle where you are feeling everything around you in a very visceral way. And those experiences on the second half of life become sort of these skills that you have. And and they become sort of these superpower, as you may, to be able to know people on a very sort of underneath level. So even if people don't share something about themselves, they because you have that sort of shared DNA because of that struggle that you went through. So and so that's coming through very strongly here with sort of this feeling of being connected with humans and humanity in general, and um, like sort of immense compassion. Um, and I'm being shown that that is great, but then your guides are very much again encouraging sort of a pacing approach, like a more paced approach um, to that way of living. Um, And then again, that little when I say DNA, I just mean like that thought pattern, that thought pattern. So that one big thought pattern is about, again, power differentials. And I'm trying to see what else is trying to come through with that. It's sort of a fuel, like it's sort of a lens and a fuel. Fuel in terms of like it is the motor that sort of feeds like maybe not motor, but like an umbrella that sort of like encompasses everything that you do. Um, yeah, and when I say motor, I just mean like it's something that like even if things don't go well, you're gonna keep coming at it. Kind of like a zombie, you just keep coming at it because that's sort of like how that thought pattern is one thought pattern that's very, very strong. I'm trying to see if there's anything further. Again, some of these initial messages are very simple, but they're very layered. And your guides and our higher selves oftentimes communicate in very simple messages, but they're very, very, very intense. And again, they have so many layers that we need to scratch the surface to kind of get to the layers. Um, I'm trying to ask about the chair, sort of what does pacing mean? And I'm asking in terms of like, what does that look like practice wise? I'm being shown just joy, like this invitation to not so much like look at it from a different perspective, look at life through a different perspective, and to really soak in also the joy because it with the power differentials, it's probably also another level that's coming through is that there is sort of this allowance for what's going wrong to sort of seep in so much in every aspect of your life. So it's like a sponge that is allowing a lot of the negative to affect you, like energetically and spiritually, and it's very, very heavy. That's a very like a fourth dimension type of feeling where you're just feeling really heavy. And it's inviting you, like your higher self, your guides are inviting you to just allow yourself to experience joy, guiltless joy. Like that was very important. The word guiltless, like, was put in there. Guiltless joy, to inviting you to, let me turn off my heat. Um, Inviting you um to like take that guilt. Um, and I haven't seen you in a really long time, so I don't know, whether this is resonating. We're going to talk in a minute, but the guiltless, the guilt that's there, that is kind of like a cloud that is, oh, it's it's showing me that chart. Your cogno person as well. So it's showing me that chart with the car that Bill McKenna always has, where it's like the chakras are, and then there's a cloud, and it's not allowing that fancy car to come to your life. So it's kind of like this cloud. So guilt is like a cloud, and these emotions that it's all good to want to fix the world and work with the world and change the world. But when the focus is primarily on the negative aspects of the power differential, then it becomes like this enormous cloud that blocks this cycle that needs to happen within you, like an energetic cycle that uh like um that fuels you, that will fuel you. And so I'm being shown that you're also um like energetic wise, like physical energy, like energy wise, like it will affect that as well. Like the focus on the power differential. And for clarity on the power differential is just this focus on the things that are not going right, the things that are not going right, whether they're within your own world or within the outside world. Um, and that is something that is innate to you, but you're being invited to shift the focus a slight bit where you're still allowing that joy to feed you. Because right now I'm getting this sort of constriction, like this feeling of like the joy is not sort of like doing that full circle that will then allow you to continue to do the work you need to do, because it's the joy is what's going to allow the work to continue. Do you have any questions?
No, I think a lot to reflect on those.
Hmm,
A lot to reflect on those.
hmm,
And I wonder if from here we can ask more questions to the higher self. Because
mhm,
yeah, there are a lot of challenges uh that you know my my husband and I are going through.
mhm,
So I was wondering if that um those three cards, and we're in a healing journey, both of us. So I
mhm.
wonder if the messages have to do with a healing journey or more with the world, how it's changing, or more with the dynamics of our families, because every time that someone is in a healing journey, all the um the dynamics and the dynamics that do not work within a family get exacerbated. Um, so I don't know if the messages are regarding that, his journey, my family, his family. It would be interesting to see.
Um, because it's your reading, it's very much tuned to you and your sort of your thought patterns. The guidance is for you, but because you guys are both um, so close, I know you guys. So, um, but I think the I'm being shown like that in spirit, those dynamics are under the same umbrella because they are dynamics that you're interacting with. So in the spirit world, it's not like divided into like family and world and it's all like one alignment. So if you are within disalignment, then those different aspects of your life are going to also be within disalignment. So when I say power differentials, when you're within the family, you're going to notice those power differentials. You're going to, um, when you're within your own personal relationship, power differentials are going to be something that you are aware of, like viscerally aware of. When you're in a society or you're living in a country, you're going to be, viscerally aware of that. So, the reading shows that within the spirit world, it's not, fragmented that way. That's just the way we see life. We see like our personal life and then God, and or we see like church and we see the world and politics and everything. We have them all separate in boxes, but the spirit is able to see that like your thought patterns apply or blanket, apply to everything in that same and when I say DNA, I just mean like thought pattern. So that's just sort of answering that one question. Um, it does, when the world one comes in, it does speak about um like this. I'm trying to connect with it once again, but it does speak about sort of connection with other humans because that's not. And it's interesting because when you're in your own self, you don't realize that other people are, vastly different, right? So, as someone who's looking inside and seeing, this is a unique way of looking at life, to look at sort of all of humanity and like really thinking about your place within humanity. Um, Can you give me a little more information in terms of like you're saying your question was like family, like does that apply in terms of family? Is that what your question was?
Yeah, if it was dynamics around my family or his family or yeah, because right now he's going through treatments. I'm gonna go through a surgery, so
Mm-hmm.
it's like especially when there are challenges, that's when you see the dynamics of the family that are not working, they get exacerbated.
So
So
then,
I'm
yeah. Okay, keep going. I'm sorry.
yeah, so that's why I was wondering about
Mhm. Okay.
that point of the power differential and
Yeah. Um,
the
so
shifting of perspectives.
so then more then I'm being shown as far as like this um at the beginning of the reading, I shared about the resting and the taking a different. So it's not just the resting, but the resting allowing you to have a different perspective. And now that you're providing a little more information in terms of struggles going on within the family, it makes sense. Like if you put those two together in terms of um, giving yourself that opportunity to view the situation within a different perspective, um, but with the caveat that you are giving yourself that compassion and that, I mean, giving yourself a chance to sit, right, is giving yourself compassion, is giving yourself kindness. Um, so that's one of the guidances coming through with that. Um, very strongly about rest for the receiving of a different perspective and to trust that a different perspective will emerge when you allow your body to take the rest that it needs. So it's a really yeah, I'm getting a sense of you're really stretching thin, like the nervous system stretching thin. And so allowing the body an opportunity to rest because you're being reminded that you are within a human body and a human body has limits and to acknowledge those limits. Um, and I'm being shown almost like there's a lot of commotion, like mental, um like when I'm shown like the snow globe, filled with, you know how the snow globe looks, but it's being shaken. So there's a
Hmm.
lot of that in there, and there's no clarity that's going to be no clarity can come out of a snow globe that's shaking. So, so sitting still or sitting or relaxing or resting allows that nervous system um, to have that snow globe settle and trusting that came through very strongly, trusting that the wisdom that is there's a word for it, it's coming through, is you can't reach it. What does that mean? What is that word? Unattainable, that wisdom that's unattainable at this moment will rise. So it's this wisdom is not there at the moment because there is so much going on. So um the rest is so important. So not for the again, not for that cliche reason like you should rest in your body, but there's more, there's perspective. There's a different perspective, a shift that's going to happen. There's more knowledge going to be accessible to you once you allow that to happen. Yeah. Um, I'm trying to tune into this one once again now that I'm having a little more information. Um, I thought it was interesting also that like you're facing that way, like your chair is facing that way. So like this is the world and your back is to the world a little bit. That kind of makes because it could have been like this card fell here, you know. So like this card was behind um the chair and that the chair is like central. It's like the most important thing that needs to be happening. Um, and awareness. Like you can still be aware. Like there's an awareness. Like when I keep saying the power differentials, it's a certain awareness that you have. And again, you're being invited to um completely I'm being shown like throw like kind of like you're tossing out things that don't work for you in order to more clearly see the situation. And maybe the power differential is not it's not a power differential. Maybe it's a differential in general to see things as they are, to see the love versus hate, or to see, all the different dualities that exists. So you're able to see what is good and what is bad. You're able to see like what is beneficial and what isn't. Um, so then you're facing that way. So that makes that sort of again addresses that question that you had about what kinds of decisions you're facing. Lots of decisions you're facing. So here you're seeing clearly what is one and what is the other. Those are very different things, right? You're able to see you're able to see clearly which one is bigger and which one is smaller and which one is better and which one is worse, and what is the difference between them. And then so I thought it was interesting when you're facing that, but this is on pause right here, you know. Um, Yeah. And it is also when, because this is back here, you are being invited to, this is you. Like you're focusing on you. You're focusing on um and when I say you, I know that you're again um I do get a very twin flames, from like you and your husband, right? So like when I say you, very much accepted as both of you, you know.
Mm.
Um, that's sort of an invitation to pretty much accept it. But the reading is a reading that's for you. But because you're so connected, please do, it is a reading for you and how you both can sort of approach what's going on at the moment.
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
Do you
So
have any other questions? Oh yeah.
does the universe has any advice of how to navigate these waves of change in a better way, or any advice?
And when you say change, wait, did you just say waves like ocean waves?
Waves, like
Okay.
ocean waves of change.
Okay.
Yeah.
Waves have changed. Give me a second. Um, okay, so it's interesting because um you and I are both cognitive movement practitioners. And so the first thing that came through is like wisdom through neutrality,
Hmm.
so and it's almost reminding you what you already know. Like it came through almost like almost in a very lighthearted way, like a reminder and be like, you already know. Like, so wisdom comes through that, like if you're up here or down here, and if you're up here in joy and or chaos, and down here in like depression and upset and like just anger or whatever, you're down here. But when you're here, that's where the wisdom lies. So, yeah, I'm being, it's almost like this comical, not comic, like making fun of you, but almost like this lighthearted, like you already know this. This is something you already know. That's what's coming through. But wisdom through neutrality. So like you're being encouraged to use the tools that you are already in possession of um for that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Ways of change. And it's not you're not denying, the outside world. You're not um you're just again, the first thing that came through was pacing. So pacing is just about compassion. It's about not carrying everything all the time. It's about like putting it down for a little bit and being just overall compassion for yourself. And you the same level, that's what I'm being, the same compassion that you give others to give yourself. And
Mm.
that's sort of like a very important, and again, this is being shared. Like a lot of this is kind of like I'm getting like she already knows this. Like she already knows this, but it's almost like this reminder because the acknowledgement is that things are there's a maelstrom of like craziness so that these things kind of fall on the wayside and they don't we forget how valuable those basic things that we already know are that we already are tuned into. um, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Okay.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else that's coming through before we close out. Yeah, the mental clarity that will come out of that is going to be worth it. And um, I'm being shown that you already have the ability to clearly see. And that's what came through at the beginning of the reading, which is that is something that is already innate to you to clearly see situations as they are, to see what's black and white, to see what's, big and little, to see, that kind of thing. So you can already see it. But the benefits of the, resting and compassion towards self, like that is central to the reading, by the way. The inwards turning of the things that you're already providing everyone around you. So that is central to the reading. Like I'm seeing this arrow like coming back towards you. So it's acknowledging that you're doing all this stuff for others. You have it, but it's inviting you to break those barriers and like from you. Like you need to turn that inward to you. Um and And you know how to do this because you've already done it before. So it's just sort of like this remembering that you need to do that once again.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
So I have a closing prayer that I do at the end, and then I'm gonna stop the recording and then we'll have a little chat. Okay.
Thank you.
We offer heartfelt thanks for the luminous connection between our conscious awareness and our higher selves, our spirit, and the loving divine forces of the universe. Thank you for speaking through the cards and illuminating our path. May the healing frequencies, insights, and truths activated here continue to unfold for Alicia across time and space. And may hidden layers rise to awareness and reveal themselves in divine timing. This connection remains alive within Alicia, and we seal this reading in gratitude and light. Right, start stopping the recording.